Hi everybody, I'm Jordan Anise, and I have the opportunity to sit and introduce to you guys the owners of When You Pray, Tawana and Miss Chavez. So we're gonna jump right into the interview so you can get to know these ladies and what they do. Y'all ready?
Ready?
Okay. So the first question is, what motivated you ladies to start When You Pray? And when you started, what did you see it as? Was it a clothing line? Was it something different?
I used to send out like encouragement words to friends who were going through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would send them to Tawana. And then she would send them to her friends. And then she started writing her own. And then I was writing my own and sending them to a whole bunch of friends. And one day we were like, man, this is getting to be so time consuming.
Right.
We should probably put it in one place. So we started a blog, When You Pray, in order to put our prayers and encouragements in one place with the idea that people would just go there and get encouragement.
Mm-hmm. So since you started getting the merchandise and being able to sell it, how has it been support wise, since then?
Ooh.
I would say it's been pretty good.
Yeah. We have
Our
a cult
church
following.
family was really, our church family really keep us going, I think.
They-
Online store hasn't been doing as good as we wanted to, because I think people want that direct connect with you. You're like, oh, you can go online and get that. Like, can you just bring it to me? Okay.
Out the trunk though, they boom out the trunk. If you just pull up and out the trunk, they people. I think they just like to be able to touch them and feel them or whatever. Because you can sell 10 shirts. Just if I pull over the Kroger, spot the trunk, start selling shirts, but you can't sell them at church.
So since you guys started doing this and you're getting vending spots and you're getting to talk to different people who aren't just from your church or who don't go to church at all, what has been like one of the most rewarding times, as you were out at just an event and you were, doing a event, you were vending and you had somebody come up to the table, what was one of the most rewarding times you would say you had?
I would say for me was in California last year, and we went to Palm Springs and we did a vendor event there. And it's kind of, I don't want to say the wrong term.
It was
a mixed crowd.
It was
And-
Spanish and Hispanic and African American women.
Okay.
And those the Hispanic ladies, they just came to the table. She's like, I'm putting my shirt on now, and I'm just like, yeah. She was just so sincere and just so happy to see the shirt, and she just loved it, and just to see them in it. We love to see everybody in it, but just to see another race, culture in it, and they embraced it so heavy, that was rewarding.
Like, yeah, they want to know, are you coming back this year? Just,
And it was just a beautiful thing. And also, I think it might have something to do, with you getting out of Flint. Because this is where we're from and we love it. People support us, our people. But when we go elsewhere and you get that support, it's probably like crazy. Like, oh my God.
You like this too?
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all pray too? Like,
Right.
and that was the whole thing around prayer. The praise shirt was not a specific religion. It's not just Christians or Muslims or Protestants or Catholics. Almost every religion has an element of prayer. And even people who don't have a formal religion, they still have, many of them have, they don't always call it a prayer life. They'll say their quiet time or meditating or whatever, but it's a form of prayer.
Which is
And
really
that's
awesome.
why.
That's really awesome. I love it. So one thing I noticed is that you guys have started something a little bit different. Which I love. I haven't been able to come to, to an actual event for it, but which I love. I saw you on a panel at like a mental health session or a panel discussion, and then from there I seen that something else was birthed. Do you mind telling us about that?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
As you said, I was on the panel for the mental health with Chia, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Totally wrecked me. I didn't know what it was. Wrecked my family because we didn't know what this thing was, I went to emergency and, oh, you got anxiety. We're like, what's that? So it was a really rough year for me. and my family because they didn't know how to deal with me and I didn't know how to deal with them.
Right.
And it was just a dark place. And they were supportive even if it was things were said wrong or right, but they would try, you know. And going through that year, it was just like, God, I can't imagine somebody having to deal with this by themselves. You know, I can call my mom like, hey, I feel like I need to go to Hurley. You know, whatever I'm feeling at that time, I got somebody to call or
somebody to lean on.
Yeah, and I was just like, I can't imagine somebody dealing with this or any other kind of mental illness and not be able to call somebody or have somebody to send them encouragement. And so we decided to start a support group called Do It Scared. And that's what she always would say to me when I would call her and I'd be having a panic attack or anxiety attack. She was like, you gotta just do it. You gotta do it scared. You know, you gotta go to work. You gotta take care of your kids. You know, do it in that element. And that helped me a lot. So that's how the group started.
And you just want to be able to help other people and push them along. And which is amazing. When I saw you speaking out about it at the panel, I was like, look at Tawana being strong, like up there being strong. Like it's rough to have those conversations, but I just want to commend you for doing it. You know, it's a big deal, and you might not feel it in the moment, but that is you being stronger than what you realize.
Yeah, it's rough because it was like I didn't want to talk about it till I was out of it, but I'm not out of it.
Sometimes you gotta talk about it when you're in it, right? Sometimes you gotta talk about it when you're in it.
Yeah.
But I think that's amazing. So there is a support group out. Do It Scared. Be sure to connect with both Tawana and Miss Chavez, on Facebook and social media, so that you can get attached to that actual support group and be a part of what it is they're doing. I'm actually done with my questions. If you ladies have anything you want to leave with us for them to know about you or how you want them to communicate with you, that's the most important part.
As a mom, when you have your child and she's going through this thing and you don't know anything about it, you don't know what to do. I didn't have anybody that I could call and say, hey, my daughter's in this and I feel like this, what do I do? And I want to be that for somebody. And my husband and her husband want to be there for the men whose daughter or wife or girlfriend is going through this, to try to help them get past it. Because it is something that affects the whole family. It's not just the person who's going through that. Everybody is going through it. And just want to encourage them that it's just like your faith is tested. But that's kind of what this thing is about, right? That you trust God, that you believe that He is able to bring you beyond what you think you can bear. And this lady told me, she was talking on Facebook, and it was like, people are always saying God won't give you more than you can bear. Like, what God they serve? He always give you more than you can bear. How else will you know who He is if He doesn't? And sometimes it helps to be reminded of that. He is going to give you more than you can bear sometimes. But He ain't going to leave you with it,
Right, not by yourself.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's I really like the support group, and please connect with us. Please, please, please. We don't want one person to feel alone in this time of their life, because you don't have to be alone. It's a bunch of us out here doing it scared in different ways,
That's right.
And that's kind of my spiel. It's like I don't have a diagnosis, but I do have my own things that I have to do scared. And everybody does, so
That's true.
Let's do it scared together.
we can
That's
do it
right.
scared together.
Thank you, ladies. Thanks for coming.
So weird.
That's a wrap.